Touch ID is the use of biometrics or the fingerprints to identify persons and replace the need of passcode. Simply by touching the home button of iPhone with our fingers, we can unlock our phone. This is because everyone has different ranges of skin, like arch, loop, and wall. With the additional Touch ID sensor installed in the home button, which can identify fingerprints in all orientation, we are able to digitalize fingerprints in binary system and store them locally. Touch ID can be used for iPhone Unlock, iTunes and App Store accounts, and Apple Pay for doing money transactions. The success in Touch ID has given rise to other applications of biometrics on phone, such as voice, iris, and face recognition. With the advance in facial imaging, faces can be identified more accurately and with more capacity. Recently, Apple has launched a Face ID for iPhone X. With the help of additional hardware, face recognition becomes another possible alternative of passcode. Simply by rotating our head for the camera, the phone can identify our face at any orientation, and with machine learning, it can still identify us even if we have some physical changes over time. Besides, the true depth camera can detect our muscle movements correctly. It seems that Face ID is replacing the Touch ID as a neutral substitute of passcode.
So, how to make Touch ID better at recognizing your fingerprints? Common Touch ID problem includes issues caused by weather, moisture, dry and oily skin. If you are having some trouble with fingerprint recognition, it's time for you to retrain it a bit more. To fix that, here are some helpful tips on getting your sensor to work correctly at all times. First, scan your fingerprints in all directions. Even though the scanner pushes you to scanning your finger right side up, you can scan your finger upside down as well. You can try multiple angles also. Since the Touch ID sensor has 360-degree readability, afterwards it then creates mathematical representation of a fingerprint. Touch ID will incrementally update the mathematical representation of encoded fingerprints over time to improve matching accuracy. Besides, you can try registering your finger more than once. Aside from adding one more, you can actually update your fingerprints. Touch one of your added fingerprints to the Touch ID sensor. You will see the entry for the fingerprint is highlighted temporarily, which means it just records more data. Do this for a while, working into different parts of your fingerprints, and you should notice Touch ID start unlocking your phone faster than before. Here are some tips and tricks for you. In order to work properly, your finger needs to make contact not just with the side pier of the home button, but also the stainless steel. You may remove any thread, dirt, or liquid on your fingers. Also, make sure you move your fingers enough that the entire surface gets scanned. Don't leave your finger too fast when the system is making detection of your prints. Remember, it usually takes time for the system to match your print with the database in order to open the lock.
For the consequences of storing all this fingerprint data from a huge chunk of society, we may wonder, is it safe? Apple claimed to store the fingerprint data in local processor rather than in the cloud or on a server somewhere. They had obviously designed a system secure enclave to ease potential privacy concerns from general public. For everyone, your fingerprint data is stored in a secure portion of the A7 chip inside your own iPhone, and it is protected with a key available only to the secure enclave. However, should your fingerprint data be stored on your iPhone, it is debatable whether fingerprint identification can protect people from the hackability of the technique. We should also consider the legal effects of fingerprints. When it comes to biometric-based fingerprint, simply put your fingerprint is a physical token instead of something you remember in your mind like a passcode. Therefore, it will be necessary for other authorities to force you to unlock the devices, and you should be aware of the fact that your information may be used by everybody else as it is not fully protected by law.
One of the major security problems of Touch ID is that fingerprints can easily be faked. Here I will show you one way to fake fingerprint by ourselves. To do the mode, you need a candle. Burn the candle wax to obtain enough liquid wax and put your finger in it. Then pour some water to cool the liquid wax. After the wax becomes solid, remove your finger. Then you can start to make fake fingerprint. The materials you need are milk, tea, water, and gelatin. First, mix a large amount of gelatin in milk and water infused with green tea. And then put the mixture in the mold. After putting it in the fridge and wait about 30 minutes, unmold the gelatin and you have your fake fingerprint. Then you can use this fake fingerprint to unlock your smartphone easily.
After the introduction of the Apple Pay, people started to link their debit cards or credit cards to their iPhone. People can make payments by tapping their iPhone on a regular contactless reader with the Touch ID or passcode as the security authentication. However, fingerprints can be easily faked and people can gain access to your phone easily. They can also get your credit card information, email accounts, social media accounts, and even more. Researchers at New York University and Michigan State University pointed out that smartphones can be easily fooled by fake fingerprints digitally composed of many common features found in human prints. They were also able to develop a set of artificial master prints that match real prints as much as 65%. This raised concerns about the effectiveness of fingerprint security on smartphones. Unlike passcodes, fingerprints cannot be changed. Therefore, if your fingerprint is stolen, your information in your iPhone is compromised too. Touch ID may not be as secure as we thought.
Touch ID has undoubtedly brought us convenience and rise of applications of biometrics. Touch ID also demonstrates how machine learning would allow Touch ID improve over time with each scan. Although Apple claims to store only the user's fingerprints locally and would not be stolen, criminals could still break through using different ways. Criminals could mold fake fingerprints to unlock our phones and make payments. We should be aware of the safety of our personal information and credit cards information when we are using these types of biometric verification to avoid identity thefts and losses. Hope this video helped you learn more about Touch ID, and thanks for watching!